We'll look at it in just a minute. Here goes the kick. It's going to be a short kick. It's going to be taken by the Firebirds, and he's going to be hit and brought down at about the 20-yard line. Great play as we watch the replay. A squib kick by the South Carolina team. It's going to be taken by Calvin Harris Jr. It's going to be brought down at around the 21-yard line. Okay. All right, here we go. First down and 10 for the Firebirds. Simmons under center. We got twin to the near side. Simmons drops back. He's going for it all. He's got his man. Oh, my. Just over the outstretched hands of Jesse Atkins, incomplete. As he was waiting on Atkins to clear. And it's going to bring up a second down and 10. Ball spotted on the 22-yard line. Simmons once again under center. Here's the snap. Drops back, waits, looks. He's going for it all again. He's got his man. Oh, does he make the catch? Touchdown, Firebirds. Touchdown, Firebirds. It's time to strike up the band. That reception was by Antonio Bearden. Bearden, great job, great throw, great reception. It was perfect all the way across the board. So that's going to bring number 35, Zach Holly, on to attempt the PAT. Here's the snap, the place down, the kicks up, right down Broad Avenue, and it's good. Your new score, with 12:40 remaining, the Georgia Firebirds take a 7-0 lead. Right there. Ask him now. With that said, the Firebirds jump on early and often. So let's just see what this Firebirds defense can now dial up. And we've got a great ball game so far. If you're a Firebirds fan, you're enjoying it. And before the game, Antoine Savage was telling his team he did not want a repeat of last week. He wanted to finish this team early, and they went for the jugular early. Holly set to kick this one off. Here's the kick. High, end over end. That one's going to be returned by number 2. He makes a move. He gets out of the end zone, but guess what? Number 28 for the Firebirds. That was 29. I stand corrected for the Firebirds. Shows him what he is made of. So now it's first down and 10 for the South Carolina Ravens. Let's see what they can dial up in this situation. And let's see what defensive coordinator Andre Slappy and company can do to stymie this Ravens offense. It's a great night for football, and we do apologize about some of the technical difficulties with Rock 103. We're going to try to get them back online shortly. And we've got a whistle and a flag. And the Firebirds are pointing toward the Ravens. Let's see what the call is. So So they're going to penalize the Ravens for a false start. That's going to bring up a first down, half the distance to the goal penalty. Now they're inside the 1 yard line. A perfect opportunity for safety, an additional 2 points, and the football back. So let's see what Coach Slappy can dial up here. Here's the snap. And that throw is very errant, and that pass was contended for Oliver Young. They call him Trey. He's the offensive specialist, as he was under some heavy duress from the hitman, Zach Brown. And once again, great camera work. We've got some new camera guys there. They played earlier today, and I want to give them a shout out and say thank you for joining in and throwing in your hat into the ring. DeTouche in at quarterback. He drops back, waits, looks, throws, almost intercepted. Corey Rue misses out on a gift. As we're going to watch the replay, as DeTouche takes the snap, looks nowhere but his receiver, and Rue almost has a early Christmas gift in May. So that's going to bring up a third down and about 11. Here's the snap, and it's going to be a safety. AKA Zach the Hitman Brown says, hello, how you doing? So give the Firebirds 2 points. Your new score should be 9-0 with 11:09 remaining in the contest, or in the first quarter.
Thank you. We got a safety, 4 points on the board. We got a safety and points. Looking good. Georgia Firebirds, it's happening, man.
And with 11:09, the Birds have extended that lead.
Hey, don't forget, all kick balls have got to be returned to the field of play, but all other balls are yours to keep. Options of 2 clothing.
Now let's see, as the Firebirds will get the ball once again, as they're playing, seems like the Firebirds theme song for this season. The boys are back in town, as a lot of people wanted a good show for this evening's game. Here's the kick. Jesse Atkins is going to let it roll in the end zone. He's got to get it out. Run, man, run. Atkins makes a move. He's to the 5. He's to the 10. He's to the 15. And he's going to be knocked out of bounds. And we've got some extra fisticuffs going on. And we should see a flag. And we've got some punches thrown and some trash talking. And right in the middle of it for the Firebirds, we watch the replay. Atkins makes an athletic move, gets around the corner, and some extracurricular right there as you got, oh my, number 5, Franklin Gordon throws a forearm. And that's what the call is. The official's right on top of it. So with that being said, that's going to be a 10-yard penalty and a 1st and 10 for your Firebirds. Here we go once again. Simmons under center. He's got twins to the far side. High motion man looks to be agent 0 to the near side. Here's the snap. Simmons drops back, looks, throws, finds his man Jesse Atkins wide open. Jesse Atkins to the 5. Looks like he's in. Count the basket and the foul. Touchdown, Firebirds. Let's watch the replay. Simmons all day to throw the football. Finds Jesse Atkins underneath wide open. And he is down on the turf. So let's just hope he is okay, as Atkins has been a vital part of this team and this franchise since its inception. I'll tell you what, we're going to step away for just a couple of minutes as they tend to Jesse Atkins. Let's hope he's okay. You're enjoying Georgia Firebirds football on the Firebirds Digital Network. Here we go with the extra point attempt. The snap, placed down, the kick's up. It's going to be blocked. They need to go ahead and bring him down because that's going to be 2 points for the defense. Number 55, Jason Myers with the block. Let's watch the replay as we missed to see where that pressure came from, but he came right up the middle. And he was about to take it to the house. So with that being said, 2 points for the Ravens. And the score right now, the Firebirds lead 15-2. And we are ready for a kickoff. Disconnect. Close it. As we are getting ready for the kickoff. Here comes the run-up. Holly takes this one high, end over end. This one's going to be returnable out of the back of the end zone. Let's see, can he get out? He makes it to the 1 yard line. It's going to be brought down. He made a move. And we've got some more fisticuffs going on as we're going to watch the replay as Franklin Gordon is ready to get into it with everybody tonight. Great open field tackle. His knee hit the ground. He should be down at the 2 yard line. But the officials did not see it. So here we go. Let's see if this defense can once again ratchet it up another level and make up for that 2 point conversion by the Ravens. Here we go. As DeTouche is in the gun this time. He's got double receivers to the near side. Here's the snap. DeTouche under pressure, and he's going to, he eludes a tackler, and he makes one. He's to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, to the 25, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, and he says, I am out of breath as he is brought down inside of Firebird territory to about the 9. A great run by DeTouche. They're going to spot the ball at the 9 yard line, first and goal for the Ravens. 7:31 remaining. And DeTouche just getting a second to catch his breath. And that's going to be Brandon Hawley at quarterback. I stand corrected now. Hall's going to be out of the gun, and he pitches it out. And that was Shard Moose Harris, and he is met with authority. And that was former All-American Tavares Washington. Here we go. Here's a snap. They're going to fake the pitch and try to set up the screen, and the Firebirds are right there to corral him, and he's going to go down at about the 13-yard line. As we're going to watch the replay, and you see Brandon Hall fakes the pitch, then throws it out to Earl Cameron. Earl Cameron is corralled by at least 5 Firebirds on the play. 6:05 remaining in the first quarter, 15-2 your score. The Firebirds have a nice lead here. Here's the snap. He's under some duress. He decides to tuck it and run, and he is met immediately. And that should have been Corey Rue on the tackle. As you watch the replay, Hall sees the pressure, decides I'm going to tuck it and run. And Corey Rue steps in and makes the tackle, bringing up a 4th down and goal to goal, spot the ball on the 11. And we're going to get, as the play clock expired, there's going to be a 5-yard penalty, bringing up a, they did get the timeout in time. So South Carolina in dire straits right now, trailing 15-2. And as explosive as the Firebirds have been, the only negative right now is the injury to Jesse Atkins. And I don't know how serious that injury is, but let's just hope that he is going to be okay, because there is a regular season game scheduled for next Saturday in Savannah, but right now that game is in jeopardy. We've got 5:10 remaining, and I will know more about this later on this evening. So stay tuned to the Georgia Firebirds website for more information about next Saturday's game in Savannah, Georgia. 5:10 remaining in the first quarter. Maurice Parry declares as a tight end. Hall drops back. He's under duress. Throws in the back of the end zone. That's incomplete. Intended for number 1, Oliver Young. Back defending for the Firebirds was Calvin Harris Jr., and that's a turnover on downs, and we've got a media timeout, so we're going to take a quick pause for the calls, and we'll be back as you're enjoying Firebirds football right here on Rock 103 and the Firebirds Digital Network. Welcome back to the Albany James H. Gray Civic Center. Eric Tabor bringing you all the play-by-play action of your Georgia Firebirds. 4:56 remaining in the first quarter. Firebirds lead 15-2. The defense has pitched its second stop of the football game. So the Firebirds offense is now on the field. And I'm trying to look back at the Firebird bench and see if I can see Jesse Atkins, as currently he is out of the game. And the Firebirds take a timeout immediately after the media timeout. So it has been a great ball game if you're a Firebirds fan. I'm not so certain right now as the guys below me with the South Carolina Ravens, as they're also streaming the game back to South Carolina. I don't know if it's such a great game for them, but I don't know about you, but I'm enjoying it after that debacle last week, and it was a kind of tough pill to swallow, and the coaches this week had a come-to-Jesus meeting with several of the players and challenged them to say finish the drill. The Firebirds are decked out tonight in their black jerseys. It's Pepsi night, and they have a Pepsi logo on the jersey. Simmons once again under center. He's got trips to the near side. High motion man is Agent Zero. Simmons drops back, waits, looks, all day to throw the ball. He's got Agent Zero. Oh, just a little bit too tall. Falls incomplete. Agent Zero, Isaiah Jupiter, was open as we watched the replay. Jupiter makes the move, but just a little too tall from Simmons. And I say this, for Agent Zero to catch that football, he's got great speed, but he was going to have a rocket taped to his back to make that catch. So that's going to bring up a good 2nd down and 10 for the Firebirds. We've got under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Simmons under center. He's got double receivers to the near side. High motion man looks to be Purnell. Well, Trayvon Badger. Here's the snap. And Simmons looked like he tripped under the feet of Victor Moley. So he does the good thing and goes down, and it's going to bring up a 2nd down and a loss of 2 on the play. Now a tough decision as it is 3rd down and about 11 for the Firebirds. He's got double receivers to the near side, and he's got Isaiah Jupiter to the far side. He's coming into motion. Simmons drops back, waits, looks, throws. Pass is going to be complete that's going to be DeAndre Parnell. And that's Trayvon Badger. I stand corrected. And once again, as we watch the replay, a great throw, great reception. And we're going to have a penalty flag as number 5, once again, Franklin Gordon, for the South Carolina Ravens, seems to be in the midst of some fisticuffs. So let's see. It looks like they might call it against the Firebirds as the Firebirds are moving back. So it's going to be a 10-yard penalty after the fact. They're going to get Victor Moley for a personal foul call. And I always talk about Victor Moley. And we always talk about Victor Moley. He is one of those guys that he has a mean streak. He's the nicest guy you could ever meet until he puts on that helmet. And when he puts on that helmet, whoa, Nelly, look out. 2:47 to go, 2:48 to go in the first quarter. Simmons once again under center. High motion man to the far side. Here's the snap, and we've got a whistle. And let's see what the officials are going to call. And that's a new one on me. I have never heard of an illegal snap. So the Ravens now having the ball moved back. It's going to bring up a 2nd. And right now about 15. Well, I stand corrected, 1st at about 15. Simmons once again under center. Here's the snap. Simmons drops back. He's going just a little outside, intended for Trayvon Badger, a.k.a. Mr. Jumpman. The ball falls incomplete. That's going to bring up a 2nd down and 15. Simmons all day to throw the football back there. The offensive line doing a great job, and I've got to say, I'm excited and ecstatic so far from what I've seen from the Firebirds.
Let's go.
2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Simmons once again under center. High motion man is going to be Agent Zero coming into circle motion to the far side in the trips formation. Simmons drops back. He's looking. He throws. Oh, man. He had Trevon Badger wide open underneath, and had he caught it, it was going to be off to the races. We watch as Simmons once again all day to throw the football, steps up in the pocket, thinks about something, then at the last second sees the underneath man clear and tries to hit Trevon Badger underneath. Pass falls incomplete, bringing up a third down for your Georgia Firebirds. Clock continuing to run, 1:18 remaining. We'd like to thank everybody who's tuning in to Firebirds football on Rock 103, and we apologize about the technical difficulties as we've gotten back on the air now, and a big shout out to my man Dustin who's got us back on the air. Here's the snap. Simmons drops back. Pass is incomplete again. Pass was intended for number 89, DeAndre Purnell. Purnell was open, but just a little too tall, and now it's fourth down for the Firebirds. And early on when it seemed they had it clicking, now it seems like there's a little bit of rust going on. And let's see what we can do. Play the game clock down to 24. Firebirds will definitely get the playoff before the end of the quarter. Here's the snap. Simmons drops back, waits, looks, throws, passes. Oh, incomplete. Wide open again. And that looked to be Agent Zero, Isaiah Jupiter, and they're going to turn the football over deep in Firebird territory. So it's going to be South Carolina football spotted at the 10-yard line. 9.9 seconds to go in the quarter, and let's see if this Firebirds defense can dig in and get a stop and turn this thing around. Hall in at quarterback, calling out the signals. Out of the gun, he drops back. He's under duress again. He's throwing underneath, and that pass is incomplete. Great breakup. And that's secondary. If we watch the replay again, does a great job as the quarter comes to an end. As we watch Hall, he finds his man open, but right there underneath, great coverage. They close and shut everything down as the quarter expires. We're going to take a quick pause for the calls as you're enjoying Firebird football on Rock 103 and the Firebirds Digital Network. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Albany James H. Gray Civic Center. Eric Tabor bringing you all the play-by-play action of your Georgia Firebirds football. And for those of you interested in AIF action right now, South Carolina under some duress. Hall under pressure. He stops and he's not going anywhere, and he's going to be sacked. And give that sack to my man. Zach Brown wearing number 4 as they've already ripped apart his traditional number 1 jersey. I'm sorry, that's Kevin Campbell, number 4. He's got the PA announcer and myself crossed up and confused. So Kevin Campbell doing a great job for the Firebirds. He's a defensive lineman, 6'3" at 300 pounds. A lot of man to try to muscle around with. This time Hall loads the gun. He's got trips to the far side. He drops back. He's under duress. He gets around the corner. And he's going to be knocked out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. If you watch the replay, they just use the receivers as a human shield and let the quarterback get around the corner and make a move. Smart play offensively just to get some positive yards. But that's going to bring up a 4th and goal now. Ball is on the 8-yard line, and one of the tough decisions that you've got to make is there's not a lot of room to move around in when you're this in close to the goal line. And we had a stop motion going, and it's going to be a timeout on the Firebirds. And that's going to bring them down to one timeout with 13:30 to go in the quarter. I am ecstatic right now as we've got a great ball game so far, but giving you an update for the Columbus Lions game. The Columbus Lions are up actually 42-7, and that game is in the second quarter. And that game is kind of panning out like we assumed it would, as Columbus is trying to show everybody they are for real. 13:30 to go in the second quarter. It's 4th and goal, and Perry signals as the tight end. Hall takes the snap, drops back, he waits, he looks, he throws, and that's going to be knocked away. Nowhere to go with the football. And that's going to be a turnover on downs, and your Georgia Firebirds will take possession of the football with 13:15 to go in the half. So let's see what Coach Cecil Lester and Coach Savage can dial up to get this ball rolling and to extend the lead for your Georgia Firebirds. Seems like we've got a pretty decent crowd in here, and everybody's having fun. As I see Frankie the Firebird actually enjoying himself. And young folks, if you want Frankie the Firebird to be at your function, give General Manager Terrence Fowler or send an email to the Georgia Firebirds at the Firebirds website to book Frankie the Firebird for your events and parties. Simmons once again under center. He's got double receivers to the far side. Simmons drops back, throw, pass is complete. And that's going to be Antonio Bearden. Bearden, a converted defensive back, and they've moved him back to receiver. And with the injury to Atkins, it's good to see. It was a great move by Savage. And that's going to be good enough for another Firebirds first down. 11:57 to go. Clock continuing to run. 15-2 your score. And the Firebirds desperately want to go ahead and get another W, as it looks like we're going to be headed to the playoffs. Here's the snap. Simmons drops back, waits, looks. He's got his man wide open. Can he? Oh, man. Pass is incomplete. And that was Antonio Bearden, who, if you watch the replay, Bearden wide open, nobody within 10 yards of him, and Simmons just a little bit too tall. If he would have taken just a half an inch off the football, it would have been a touchdown for the Firebirds. So that's going to bring up a second down and 10. Spot the ball right now on the Firebirds' 18-yard line. Simmons once again under center. He's got double receivers near side. Agent Zero, Isaiah Jupiter, far side. And we're going to get a timeout as the play clock was about to expire. And that's their third and final timeout. So with that being said, and we talked about this some during the regular season, that the Firebirds need to take a look at some things when they're doing their play calling, because it's taking them a long time to get the play and to execute. And again, here it almost came back to bite them, but they had to burn another timeout. So the Firebirds are out of timeouts for the half with 10:51 to go. And let's see if this receiving core and this quarterback can get in sync. And if I may borrow a phrase from my kids, see if they can get this thing in sync and pipe it up. As Coach Savage had a brief discussion with his quarterback and receivers, as well as Cecil Lester. Simmons once again under center. The high motion man, Agent Zero, Isaiah Jupiter, the far side motion man. Here's the snap. Simmons drops back, waits, looks. He pump fakes, throws. Oh, man. And that pass was intended for number 16, Antonio Bearden. We watched the replay. And the Firebirds can pretty much do their bidding here. Great throw, well, just a little bit behind Bearden. And Bearden, if he would have been led a little further, as he took a little bit off of it this time, it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10 as the clock continues to run. 10:15 remaining in the half. Simmons once again under center. Here's the snap. Simmons under some duress, passes in the air, and it's going to be caught. Oh, my. Take it to the house, young man. Trayvon Badger, another ESPN-type top 10 reception. And this is what I'm talking about. Watch the replay. Trayvon Badger, Johnny on the spot. And once again, I think that should be another. He has already had one top 10 ESPN play this season. And that was that preseason game where he actually hurdled the defensive back in full stride and took it in for a score. That made Fox Sports top 10 and the ESPN top 10. So now Trayvon Badger has another one as he set out last week's game, but he's back this week and he is showing up, if I might use that phrase. Here's the kick. It's up. It's going to be no good, but I thought there should have been a flag on the play as there was an outside rush, and the rule in arena football is you cannot rush from the outside, and the officials, I think, are discussing that because there was an outside rush and there was a roughing the kicker call. But there's no flag on the play, so 9:07 remaining. Your Firebirds extend the lead. It is now 21-2 with 9:07 remaining in the half. Want to remind all you Firebirds fans, you missed out on a treat this morning as we had the Youth Indoor Football League Championship games. There were 4 great ball games this morning, and if you did not come out, you really missed a treat. But guess what? If you go to the Firebirds YouTube channel, you can check out all 4 games in their entirety and enjoy it. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoy competition like what you see here with the Firebirds, you've got to love youth indoor football. And as I've done in past weeks, I've challenged everyone within the sound of my voice to come out to the Albany James H. Gray Civic Center and enjoy some youth indoor football. But this season has come to a close as Holly kicks this one deep. This one's going to be returnable. He's out to the 5. He's to the 10. He tries to make a move. He's to the 15, to the 20, to the 25, and he makes a move, but he is not going to get in. He's going to be brought down after a great return. If you watch the replay, and that was Cohen, Derek Cohen on the return. He makes a move, gets downfield, but he's not going to outrun this Firebird special team. But it's going to be a first down and goal to goal for the Ravens. The ball's going to be spotted. They're moving it to about the college hash, to the NCAA hash at about the 7-yard line. First and 10. Number 94, Maurice Perry, once again declares as a tight end. Out of the gun. Hall drops back, waits, looks, throws, and that pass is going to be incomplete. And the receiver for the Ravens is calling for a flag as we watch the replay. It looks like he had a handful of jersey right there, and he didn't turn and look, but it was to the official's back, so no harm, no foul. Pass incomplete, bringing up a second down and goal. 8:20 remaining in the half. Perry once again declares his tight end. Hall loads the gun. Here's the snap. Hall is under a little bit of duress. He's going to throw. Passes incomplete. And Oliver Young is hollering for a flag as we watch the replay. Oliver Young is a receiver on the far side of your screen. They have him jammed up within 5 yards of the football, and you can get a jam. And you've got 5 yards to get a jam, and he was well within that 5 yards. But when the ball comes in the air, you've got to let go. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and goal for the Ravens. Hall once again loads the gun. He's got double receivers near side. Young far side, the high motion man. Here's the snap, and we've got whistles and a flag. And they're going to call a false start on the Ravens, and that's going to be a 5-yard penalty, and that's going to bring up replay 3rd down, but now it's 3rd and goal from the 12-yard line. That's more manageable for the Ravens as you get a little more real estate to operate, for the receivers to operate and meander. So right now it's going to be imperative that the Firebirds get pressure underneath it, and it looks like they do. Pass is going to be intercepted. Go, young man, run, run, run. He's to the 5, he's to the 10, to the 15, makes a move, he's to the 20, and he's going to be brought down, and we've got a flag, and that's what I'm talking about. And he said, whoop. And it was almost like he was having joystick action playing Madden. And we've got another flag. And they're going to call a personal foul on Young. Young had a lot to say to the officials, and he's very close to being ejected from this contest if he doesn't calm down. So we're going to wait to see what the officials are going to call, and they've got their charts out. So I don't know if there might be an ejection. 21-2 your score, and we're going to wait on the Whitecap. All right, so they're going to have offsetting penalties, so we're just going to play the ball where it lies at the 20-yard line. 1st down and 10. 6:38 to go in the half. Firebirds lead 21-2. Defense once again gets another stop as they've pitched a perfect game so far. The only flaw has been the blocked extra point attempt. Semus once again under center. He's got trips to the far side. Here's the snap. Quick screen goes out to number 16. He makes a move, and he's going to be brought down inside of Raven territory at about the 21-yard line. So that's going to bring up about a 2nd down and 1. They're going to spot the ball on the 21-yard line. And this is one of these areas in the field where you can just dig in and make a play. You've got, I hate to say, a throwaway play, where this is one of these areas where you can just take a shot, or you can just give it to your fullback and try to make a play there. And I see Tim Smalls, DB for South Carolina, checks out of the game, and he looks like he was in some pain as he went to the sideline. Simmons takes the snap, drops back, waits, looks, he's going for it all. He's got his, and they're gonna rule an interception on the 2-yard line. And Derek Cohen comes up with the interception for the Ravens, and that's one of the first minuses for the Firebirds. or the second minus for the Firebirds. Simmons tries to throw it out there, and he had not enough zip on it. So Cohen has a chance to make a play, gets the interception. And now it's 1st and 10 for the Ravens. Let's see if this defense for the Firebirds can drill down and grab a safety here and extend this Firebirds lead and take the football once again. Hall loads the gun. Here's the snap. Hall drops back. He's going to throw the screen out to Young. Young makes a move. He's to the 5. He's to the 10 and tries to get out and is going to be brought down at about the 14, 15-yard line. That's going to be good enough for a Ravens first down. That combination of Hall to Young looks to be deadly. And I don't see Zach Brown out on the field, and I don't know if he's injured or he's just taking a little bit of a break and getting taped. Hall going for it all. He's got his man, and it's going to be caught. And that was Derek Cohen with the reception as we watch the replay with 4:40 to go in the half. Hall sees Cohen splitting the zone, makes the reception, and the ball's going to be spotted at about the 2-yard line. 1st and goal for the Ravens. Can this Firebirds defense dig in and have the intestinal fortitude to get a stop? Let's find out. With 4:17, clock continues to run. Hall once again loads the gun. He's got double receivers far side. He's going to pitch it out to his back, and his back is met and brought down with authority. And Earl Cameron tried to get around the corner, and waiting right there was a host of Firebirds to drive the nail into the turf. 3:42 remaining in the half as I see Cohen checking out of the game for the Ravens. It looks like he's in some pain. Hall once again loads the gun. He's got double receivers far side and Young near side in high motion. Here's the snap. He looks for Young in the back of the end zone, and Young makes the reception, and it's going to be good for a Ravens touchdown. This combination, as we watch the replay, Hall to Young, is something I am really impressed with. As his quarterback puts it only where his receiver can get it, Young makes the reception, gets 6 points, and their first score of the game for the Ravens. The new score with 2:54 remaining in the half. Firebirds 21, Ravens 8, and the Ravens are going to go for 2. Hall once again loads the gun. Here's a snap. He drops back, waits, looks. He's under some duress. He's going to try to run it, and he's going to take a shot, and they're going to say he's in, and the 2-point conversion is good with 2:34 remaining. Your score, Georgia 21, South Carolina 10. With that, we're going to take a quick timeout as you're enjoying Firebirds football on Rock 103 and the Firebirds Digital Network. Welcome back to the Albany James H. Gray Civic Center. Eric Tabor bringing you all the play-by-play action of your Georgia Firebirds as they lead 21-10. The South Carolina Ravens got a early or a late Christmas gift, depending on which way you want to look at it. Well, let's just say they got an early Mother's Day gift, as Young is set to kick this one off as the Ravens kicker, I believe, is injured. Here's the kick. It's going to be a squib kick. It's going to go back and sail to it's going to go into the stands. So that ball should come out to the 20-yard line, 1st and 10 for your Firebirds.
All kickballs must be returned to the field of play, please. All balls kicked into the stand must be returned.
So let's see where the officials are going to spot the football. The correct spot should be the 20-yard line.
All balls kicked into the stand must be returned. Thank you. Appreciate your support.
The ball hit the field of play but bounced up. It was not touched by any Firebird. And we're trying to find out what the correct spot should be. I'm thinking it should be on the 20-yard line, 1st and 10, but the officials are having a discussion right now around the Firebirds 10. 2:31 remaining in the half, and the officials are still discussing where the spot of the football should be. So they're going to spot the ball on the 10-yard line, 1st down and 10 for the Firebirds. 2:31 remaining in the half. Simmons once again lines up. He's going to hand it off to his big fullback. His fullback is to the 25, to the 20, to the 15. Can he catch him? He's to the 10. Touchdown, Firebirds. Hallelujah, and pass the gravy, as he had a wall of defenders in front of him, makes the move and says, I can take this all the way to the house. And that's exactly what he does. Touchdown, Firebirds. Your new score with 1:58 remaining. Georgia 27, South Carolina 10. And the big question now, will the Firebirds go for two? As I see Simmons still in the game, I don't see Holly coming out. The Firebirds are going for two. Simmons once again under center. High motion man is going to be Isaiah Jupiter coming into circle motion into a trips formation near side. Simmons drops back, throws. The ball's going to be tipped at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete. So the two-point conversion attempt fails. With 1:17 to go in the half, the Firebirds lead 27-10. And once again, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the Knighton family who's stepping in for us on the cameras. And I want to once again say thank you to that entire crew, as we had one young man this morning. He played in the football game and had a pretty decent game, and now he's working cameras for your Georgia Firebirds. A big shout out to him. Number 21 for the Tide. So we've got to give him credit where credit is due. This young man is full of energy and full of I want to say, vigor. So 27-10 your score, as Holly is going to kick this one off. Let's see, is he going to, I would say right now, go for the Uno. Here's the run up and the kick by Holly. That one's high, end over end. That one's going to, it did not hit the wall. The player hit it in the field of play. And so that should have been a live football, but the officials say no, and they're the ones whose opinion counts. So it is now 1st and 10. Spot the ball should be on the 20-yard line. But Trayvon Badger with the highlight of the game, getting the catch earlier and another ESPN highlight reel type reception. 1:07 remaining in the quarter. As we've got an update from the Columbus score, they're up 58-14 in the half. Hall going deep, and he's going to find Young. Young accelerates and splits the seam in the coverage, and it's going to be a touchdown. And I think as we watch the replay, there might have been a little bit of hesitation on the coverage, as Hall drops back and he looks nowhere else but to Young, and he zips it in between the the zone. Great throw, great catch right around the WALB News Center 10 banner in the end zone. So your new score with 1 minute remaining in the contest. Your Firebirds lead 27-16, up by 11. And it looks like the Ravens are going for two. Hall once again loads the gun. High motion man looks to be Young, and they're going to just really mug Young in the back of the end zone. Pass is going to be incomplete. 2-point conversion fails, and Young has a few things to say, but I am really impressed by this South Carolina receiver. As we watch the replay, they grab a hold of Young, and they're not going to let him beat him. Pass goes incomplete. It was intended for number 4, Sherrod Harris. 56.3 seconds to go in the half, and we've had a great ball game so far. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Rock 103 as we are live back on the air, and big shout out to Dustin back at Radio Control who got us back on the air. We had some technical difficulties earlier, so big shout out and a big thumbs up and thank you to you, sir. 27-16 to score as Jackson Riley is your PA announcer on the field. Here's the run up and the kick as Young has done everything except for sell hot dogs at halftime. Isaiah Jupiter takes the ball at the 10-yard line. He's to the 15. He's to the 20. Makes a move and it's going to be brought down just across midfield to about the 24-yard line. Great return by Jupiter as they've got to watch out as it looks like Young is their Mr. Everything for South Carolina. He's done everything. He's caught touchdowns. He's run touchdowns. He's even kicked the football off. So like I said, he's done everything except for sell hot dogs in between snaps. Simmons once again under center. We've got 54 seconds left. He's got trips to the near side. Here's the snap. There's a fumble on the play. And let's see who's got the football, and they're going to say the Ravens have it. Tough break for the Firebirds as they were up by 11, and the Ravens can cut into that lead with 51.8 seconds to go. So right now, I want to remind all the fans of your Georgia Firebirds, and coming up at halftime, we're going to discuss the playoff situation as well as the game next week, and it's going to be interesting to say the least. So stay tuned as you're enjoying Firebird football, but we're going to keep it right here. But we're enjoying Firebird football on Rock 103 and the Firebirds Digital Network. Hall once again loads the gun. He's got double receivers far side. Young near side in high motion. Here's the snap. Hall drops back, throws. Pass is going to be incomplete. That pass was intended for number 8, Derek Cohen. As we'll watch the replay, great camera work right here. As Hall is scanning the field, his first target is always Young. Throws, he was on target, but right there, Johnny on the spot. That Firebird secondary showing up and showing out. 47.2 seconds remaining in the half. Once again, Hall loads the gun. High motion man is going to be Young. Double receivers far side. Pass is complete, incomplete. It was a drop ball as I think Derek Cohen was hearing some footsteps or he heard a freight train whistle. Here's the throw, and he's right there, and he thinks, oh, my God, somebody's going to come and hit me. And, young man, I'll tell you this. In football, you got to catch it no matter what. And you're in the pros, so that's what you're paid to do. 42.5 seconds to go in the half. 27-16 your score. Hall once again loads the gun. Young, the high motion man. The ball's on the ground, and Hall is going to be sacked back at about the 6-yard line. So that's going to be a fortunate break as the Firebirds are out of timeouts. And so right now, South Carolina takes a timeout. And that leaves them with one as they're trying to make a play. So that's going to bring up a third down. And literally about 30 yards for a first down. They're going to have to get to the Firebirds 16-yard line for a first down. And the ball is spotted on the 6 right now. And they're going to have to get about 28 yards for a first down. 38.1 seconds remaining in the half. Hall once again loads the gun. The high motion man looks to be number 1, Young. He drops back. He waits. He looks. He's looking for Young. He's looking for Young all the way over, but we got a man playing center field. Oh, my. You had 2 defensive backs looking to make the interception. As we watch the replay, Hall throws deep. And a great defensive effort. And maybe it was all for the best to just slap it down as the Firebirds will take possession, as that was a 4th down play. So it's first down and 10, or first and goal for the Firebirds. Spot the ball on the 6-yard line with 30 seconds left on the clock. So let's see if the Firebirds can capitalize on the mistake by the Ravens. High motion man. We've got trips to the far side. Semmers calling out the signals. Here's the snap. Semmers drops back. He had a little problem handling it. He's looking in the back of the end zone, and it's going to be a touchdown. And oh my goodness, if it isn't the big man, Danny Bunch, 6'5", 350 pounds, and they're going to get him for a personal foul as he gives him 2 claps and a Ric Flair. Woo! Danny Bunch, the largest man on the field, gets a touchdown. And they're going to call a penalty. I think they're going to get Danny Bunch for a personal foul after the fact. So let's wait and see what the play call is. Well, let's see what the officials call. They're going to get Danny Bunch. That's right, because his ball went into the stands. Technical director, producer of the broadcast, Eric Tabor, making the correct call. Ball goes into the stands, so that's an automatic personal foul. And Danny Bunch is probably going to want that one for his highlight reel. It's every offensive lineman's dream, especially a big 350-pounder like Danny Bunch, to make a touchdown reception. So the touchdown stands, but after the 10-yard penalty, the Firebirds are going for a 2-point conversion, but this will give them a little more real estate. Isaiah Jupiter, the high motion man, coming into circle motion, far side to a trips formation. Here's the snap. Simmons drops back. He's going to throw it, and just underthrows Isaiah Jupiter. If he would have hung it over the top, Jupiter might have had a chance, but flowing over there was the Ravens defensive back. And my thing with that one, there should have been an illegal defense call if we could run that play back, that 2-point conversion if we've got it. But that's what the coaches are having a discussion with the officials about. The umpire allowed that jack linebacker to flow out of the box. And with that being said, he floated back there. He should not have been that deep. The ball was spotted on the 12, so he should not have passed the 5. He does, and almost gets the interception. He shouldn't have been there. Nonetheless, they're going to negate the 2-point conversion. Your score with 21.4 seconds to go, Georgia 33, South Carolina 16. Holly getting set to kick this one off. Back deep is going to be Derek Cohen for the South Carolina Ravens. Here comes Holly's kick. High end over end. That one's going to be returnable. And he loses the football as it hits the top of the wall. He fielded it. And I don't know, that's another one of those questionable calls. We'd have to ask the league for a ruling on that. But he took possession of it, and then the ball hits the wall, so it should have still been a live football. Even if it hits the top of the wall, it's considered live. It has to go over the wall. So it's 1st and 10. Spot the ball on the 20-yard line. Your Georgia Firebirds lead 33-16. Once again, I want to remind everyone, coming up at halftime, we're going to talk playoffs. We'll stay tuned. We'll see. We've got a timeout by the referee. 20.4 seconds to go, and the officials say, let's start it up. Hall calling out the signals out of the gun. Young coming into trips formation near side. Young goes down, and Hall's going to have to run for his life. And Young's going to take South Carolina's final timeout with 14.1 seconds as he takes it into Firebird territory at about the 23-yard line. It's going to bring up about a second down and either a long 3 or a short 4. So it's going to be interesting to see what they can dial up with 14 seconds left. They cannot stop the clock. They will have to get out of bounds to stop the clock. So the Firebirds are going to have to try to dig in and answer the bell with 14 seconds to go. I'd like to take the opportunity right now once again to thank Cumulus Broadcasting for allowing us to use their airwaves. And once again, I say big shout out to Dustin back at Radio Control, who's the glue to making this broadcast happen. 14.1 seconds remaining. Here we go as Hall once again loads the gun. High motion man looks to be Cohen. Here's the snap. Hall drops back. He's under duress. He crosses the line of scrimmage. He's got to go down. He picks up the first down. The officials stop the clock. They're going to have to hurry as they set the ball to spike it. The officials say start the clock. And he's going to spike it with 7.5 seconds remaining. So that's going to bring up a second down. They're going to move it back to about the 19-yard line since it was they ran a clock play. 7.5 seconds remaining. Hall once again out of the shotgun. Young near side, double receivers far side. And I look for him to go to Young almost immediately. And Hall eludes one tackler. He's going downfield. He chucks it up. Pass is going to be incomplete. And the officials say incomplete, and it's halftime. We're going to take about a 2-minute break as you're enjoying Firebirds football on Rock 103 and the Firebirds Digital Network. Coming back up at halftime, we're going to talk playoffs, possibly, and we're going to talk about the Youth Indoor Football League as well as some other things. Stay tuned as you're enjoying Firebirds football on Rock 103 and the Firebirds Digital Network. the James H. Gray Civic Center. Yours truly, Eric Table, bringing you all the play-by-play action of your Georgia Firebirds. We've had a great first half of football if you're a Firebirds fan. And right here on Cumulus Radio, you heard it here first. We could possibly have another game here at the Albany James H. Gray Civic Center next week. We'll keep your fingers crossed. I don't know if we'll be able to get it in or not, because the Albany State University is going to have their commencement ceremonies tomorrow or Saturday morning, and I don't know if that's going to be enough turnaround to try to get the turf down and the field set up for a 7 o'clock game. We could possibly set up a Sunday game if that is possible, as the South Carolina Ravens said they're up for the challenge. And we've got about 4 minutes until we start the second half, and a great ball game thus far. I'd like to thank the owner of the South Carolina Ravens for coming up and talking with us at halftime, as they're actually streaming the game live on one of their sites. They've just got video only, no audio. And want to remind you that coming up later on, the game will be up on the YouTube stream tomorrow afternoon, so you can enjoy your Georgia Firebirds football game tomorrow afternoon. We've got some great opportunities coming up. As we've said once again, your Firebirds are in the AIF playoffs. I hope you guys are as excited as I am, as we've got a drum line performing for just a little while. And I see General Manager Terrence Fowler on the field. He is enjoying this game thus far. But I'm going to say this, and I say it quite often, you can't leave points on the field. And the Firebirds have left a couple of touchdowns on the field. And against good teams, like, say, for example, a Columbus, when you have an opportunity, you've got to take advantage. Or against a Florida team, you're going to have to take advantage and score all the points you can. We've got some great football action tonight. 2:17 to go before we're ready to tee this one up and start the second half. And I'd like to take an opportunity once again to thank the Knighton family for stepping in and running cameras for us. And they're doing a fantastic job, so big thumbs up to those guys. I want to also send a hello and a howdy do to the Tabor family and the rest of the GBIC production crew, as everybody's out and about and doing their things. My oldest daughter, Blossom, last week attended her senior prom, and she's going to be a graduate of Lee County High School. So I want to send her a shout out and a I love you, sweetheart, and congratulations, as she has completed her high school, as she's going to complete her high school matriculation in a couple of weeks. Also, I'd like to say hi and what's up to my two other daughters, Kate Tabor and Jennifer Tabor, who are at home listening into the broadcast. I want to say hello and how you guys doing, and I hope you're enjoying the audio broadcast. Last but not least, I'd like to say hi and what's up to my wife, Irene Tabor, and I want to say happy Mother's Day to her, and as well as to all of the mothers out there. All of you need to stand up and take a bow, as being a mother is a full-time job. And just because you work a 9 to 5 and when you come home, that does not mean that you can relax. It's time to resume Act 2 of the AIF game between the Georgia Firebirds and the South Carolina Ravens. Great competition thus far. Your Firebirds up 33-16. I've always been excited, as we've got a pretty decent crowd tonight here at the Albany James H. Gray Civic Center. And I want to say, as We are broadcasting live on Rock 103 as you heard Jackson Riley give a shout out to everybody who's tuning in to the broadcast on Rock 103 and Cumulus Radio. We're getting set to kick this one off, and Holly is teeing this one up for your Georgia Firebirds. Holly doing a great job thus far. The only thing he's missing is the deuce. Here's the run up, the kick high, end over end. That one's going to be taken about halfway in the end zone. He's going to come out to the 5, makes a move to about the 10, and is going to be brought down to about the 14-yard line. So we watch the replay. Holly kicks this one into the end zone. It was returnable. And creeping in there to make the play, it looked like Calvin Harris Jr. So that's going to be first down and 10. Spot the ball on the 15-yard line. And we're going to see Victor Moley step into the game as the MAC linebacker. And the pass is going to be complete out to number 8. And that's going to be Derek Cohen. So watch the replay. Great camera work once again, guys. As Cohen makes the reception at about the 13, gets upfield, gets positive yards, and looks like he's got enough for a Raven first down as Victor Moley has stepped in at nose tackle. Hall in the gun, calling out the signal. Here's the snap. Moley just driving his guy back, almost intercepted. Corey Rue almost had another pick. Tough break as we watch the replay. As Moley, let's watch Moley here. At the snap of the football, Moley just takes that center and just drives him into the quarterback and collapses the pocket. I don't know, maybe we need to put Moley at nose tackle sometime. So, here we go. It's going to bring up a second down and 10. Hall drops back. He's under some duress. He's going to hit his back out of the backfield, number 9. And that's Earl Cameron. Earl Cameron's going to be brought down inside the 15. Looks good enough for a first down. As we watch the replay, Hall drops back and the fullback slips out of the backfield, makes the reception, and gets upfield. And that's good enough for a first down. It's going to be first and goal. Spot the ball on the 10-yard line. 12:30 remaining in the third quarter. 33-16 your score. Hall once again out of the gun. Young is high motion man. Here's the snap. Hall's under some duress. He's going to throw it in the back of the end zone. It's going to be out of the end zone and up and over is going to be number, I wanted to say number 5, but that was number 9. And that was Calvin Harris Jr. showing his athleticism as he ended up almost into the stands. 11:55 to go in the third quarter. Clock continuing to run. It's second down and goal for the Ravens. Here's the snap. Hall drops back, swings it out to his fullback, and they're right there laying down the lumber. And I thought for a second we might have had an injury, but we do not. A great reception. And everybody is laying down the lumber right now as your Georgia Firebirds are enjoying this competition. 33-16 to score with 11:15 to go in the third quarter. Once again, Hall out of the shotgun. 5 yards deep in the backfield. High motion man's going to be Young coming into circle motion to the far side. Here's the snap. Hall drops back, throws it in there, and it's going to be caught in tight coverage. Touchdown is Young, showing you he is the man to be reckoned with, as we heard the owner from the South Carolina Ravens talk at halftime that Young played for the Carolina Panthers by way of South Carolina State University, and I do remember that young man. He was a superstar and a stud at South Carolina State. 11:24, clock continuing to run. Hall once again loads the gun. Here's the snap. He drops back. He waits. He's going to throw. It's going to be intercepted. And we've got a flag back at the 10-yard line. And that was Jackson on the interception. So the two-point conversion fails. 33-22 your score. And let's see what the call is. So we're waiting on the white hat to make the official ruling. As the officials are having a discussion on the field, let's wait and see what the call is. They're calling for football. Looks like they're going to retry the PAT attempt. They're going to get a roughing the passer call on the Firebirds, so it's going to be another attempt half the distance to the goal. And when you put the ball on the 1-yard line, I'm more inclined to try to run that football in because there is no room to meander around as we see Hall coming under center. Here's a snap. They're going to give it to the fullback. And does he get in? They say yes. Two-point attempt is good. Your new score with 10-12 remaining. The Georgia Firebirds 33. The South Carolina Ravens 24. Again, I want to remind all of you Firebirds fans that your Georgia Firebirds are in the playoffs. Right now, if the season were to end today, your Firebirds would make the trip down to Estero, Florida for a rematch with the Florida Tarpons. That would be a fantastic game to go down and view. And right now, that game would be tentatively scheduled for Labor Day. I'm sorry, I stand corrected, Memorial Day weekend. 33-24 the score with 10:07 remaining as we are awaiting. We are awaiting the start of this game. Young kicks this one off, and that one goes back to about the 15. It's going to be fielded, and he's to the 18. He's going to get to the 20 and brought down as we watch the replay, and that's a good philosophy just to squib it down the field if you don't have a kicker, as it was not fielded cleanly by Bearden. Bearden takes it, tries to find an open lane, runs into one of his own players, and is going to be brought down at about the 21-yard line. They're going to say the 21 and a half. One official is saying it should be on the 22. And it should be on the other hash. So we'll take that half a yard. 9:49 to go in the third quarter. 33-24 your score. As now the Firebirds have their first possession of the second half. The high motion man looks to be DeAndre Purnell. Here's the snap, and we're going to get an offsides on DeAndre Purnell as he kind of jumped. So that's going to back your Firebirds up 5 yards, bringing up a second down and first down and 15. So move the ball back to about the 17-yard line. We've got a great ball game here if you're a Firebirds fan, as they jumped out, scored early and often. The score 33-24, 9:48 to go in the third. Semus once again under center. Here's the snap. Semus drops back. He's going for it all. He's got Purnell, and Purnell could not come up with it. Purnell's looking for a flag, but the way the officials have been they've been very stingy. I think they starred as Scrooge in the movie Ebenezer Scrooge, as Purnell tried to get out there and make the reception. There was a little bit of jostling for position, and Purnell's calling for a flag but doesn't get it. Incomplete nonetheless, bringing up a second down and 15. .907 remaining, clock running. Bearden, the motion man. Here's the snap. Samos drops back, pass complete underneath the Bearden. Bearden is going to be brought down at about the midfield stripe. He's going to pick up about 8 yards on the reception, and that's going to bring up a third down and about 7. So let's see what Coach Lester and Coach Savage can dial up in this situation. 8:35, clock continues to run. Simmons under center, high motion man. Looks to be Trayvon Badger. Here's the snap. Pass out to Badger. He short hops it, incomplete. And that's going to bring up a fourth down for the Firebirds and decision time for Coach Savage. Your Firebirds lead by 9, and it's now fourth down and about 7. And it looks like they're going to go. And right now it would be a great decision if the Firebirds would possibly run a delayed snap and possibly get the Ravens to jump offside. High motion man, Isaiah Jupiter to the near side. Double receivers to the far side. Here's the snap. Simmons drops back, pump fakes. He's going for it all. He's got Isaiah Jupiter and incomplete. Just a little too much air under the football. And Coach Savage is coming out to have a discussion as he seems a little bit upset and he wants to know what's going on. As that play goes incomplete. And I think part of the discussion was that Jack linebacker vacating the box. But there was a pump fake, but it looked like he had vacated the box before the pump fake. Hall once again loads the gun. The high motion man's going to be Young. Here's the snap. Hall drops back. He's going to pass out to his receiver, number 8. Makes the reception. And Cohen is going to get out of bounds at about the 16-yard line. About a yard shy of a first down. That's going to bring up a second down and 1. 6:30 remaining in the third quarter.
What's going on?
6:16 to go. Here's the snap. Yep. Hall drops back, throws, passes incomplete, and really close to a personal foul call. Okay. So that's going to bring up a third down and 1. 5:56 remaining in the quarter. And let's see if Coach Slappy and that defense can get another defensive stop. Because I think they were under a little bit of in relaxation mode. Hall once again out of the shotgun. Young, the high motion man. Here's the snap. Hall pump fakes, looks, throws. Pass is going to be incomplete into the end zone. A fan souvenir. That's going to bring up a fourth down for the Ravens. So now a tough decision for your Georgia Firebirds. It's fourth down now, and they've got to get some pressure on Hall as they made some adjustments as early. The Firebirds were able to get pressure, so Hall dropped back into the shotgun. We're going right to left on your radio dial. Hall, once again, 5 yards deep in the shotgun. Young, the high motion man. Here's the snap. Hall looking, His first option is take away. He slips down, and it's a turnover on downs. Your Firebirds defense gets a defensive stop. Turn it over. And looked like the turf monster took a cue from the song, and he cut him. So with 4:47 to go in the third quarter, great play. Give the tackle to the turf monster. (33-24) the score, 4:47 to go in the third. So the offense takes possession again. Let's see if they can capitalize as they struggled the last possession. Samos once again under center. Here's the snap. Samos drops back, waits, looks, throws. Pass is complete. Underneath, give that reception to number 16, Antonio Bearden. As you watch Samos scanning the field, sees Purnell clear, gets underneath the defensive back, makes the reception, is now first and goal for your Georgia Firebirds. So let's see what Coach Lester and Coach Savage have dialed up. 33-24, 4:16 clock, continuing to run. Samos once again going the distance for the Firebirds. Here's the snap. They're going to give it to the fullback. Fullback makes a move around the end. Guess what? It looks to be, it is 6 points for your Georgia Firebirds. Ralph Scott gets around the end. 6'1", 230-pounder. And he takes it in for a score. With that said, let's reset the scoreboard. Your Firebirds lead by 15, 39-24. 3:30 remaining in the third. Looks like the Firebirds are going to go for two. 15-point lead with 3:19. Clock continues to run. Samos once again under center. High motion man looks to be Isaiah Jupiter coming into circle motion to the near side to a trips formation. Samos drops back. They're going to throw it out, intended for the tight end, and that was number 68, Big Danny Bunch. And Danny Bunch is starting to become an effective weapon at tight end as he got his first ever touchdown earlier in this contest. We've got 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. We watched the replay of the touchdown reception. Well, we go back as Holly is set to kick this one off. I'm excited once again, ladies and gentlemen, as your Georgia Firebirds have extended that lead 39-24. And that's the Blues. Holly's got it set to kick it off. Back deep is going to be number 8, Derek Cohen. And here's the kick, high, end over end. That's going to be returnable by Cohen. Cohen takes it to the back of the end zone. He's to the 5. He's to the 10. He makes a move. He's to the 15. Cuts it to the corner and is going to be upended at about the 22-yard line, where they'll take possession. As we watch the replay, Cohen tries to cut it upfield, and he cuts back as he sees a lane, makes a move, gets it up the field, gets positive yards, but can't break free. That's going to be 1st and 10 for the Ravens on their own 22-yard line. .230 to go in the contest. Hall once again loads the gun. High motion man looks to be Young. Here's the snap. Hall drops back. He's going to throw the screen. Pass is going to be completed up underneath. And give that reception to Shard. They call him the Moose Harris. And he's going to be brought down after about a 2-yard reception. They're going to spot him down at the 24-yard line. 2nd down and about 8. And I've got a question as I look at Shard Harris, and I'm just wondering why they call him Moose. Hall, once again, out of the gun, drops back. He's under some duress. He's going out for it. Great coverage as he's bracketed. And the ball goes incomplete. And that pass was well defended, intended for Young. Once again, great camera work. 1:13 to go in the quarter. Clock continuing to run. 1:01 remaining in the third. Hall loads the gun once again. Young, the high motion man. Here's the snap. They're going to throw the quick screen, and it's going to be short hopped as there was some pressure, and give the pressure to number 12, Tavares Washington, on the play. Washington, if you remember, he's 6'2", 230-pounder, All-American defensive, stand corrected, All-American linebacker from Albany State University. We're down to the final 30 seconds of the third quarter. Firebirds lead by 15. Hall once again out of the shotgun. High motion man once again is Young, coming into circle motion to the far side. Double receivers there. Here's the snap. Hall under some pressure. We've got a flag, and it's going to be knocked away at the last second. Chavis Jackson breaks up the pass, and I think we're probably going to get a holding call, but I would decline that on fourth down, and the Firebirds will take possession. And that's the call we get. They're going to call holding on Jason Scott. Nonetheless, pass incomplete. Your Georgia Firebirds take possession of the football with 8.2 seconds to go in the third quarter. .2 seconds remaining. Your Georgia Firebirds lead by 15. And let's see if we can tack one more score on before the fourth quarter. Simmons once again loads the gun. High motion man looks to be Isaiah Jupiter to the near side. Here's the snap. Simmons drops back. Waits, looks. He's going for it all. He's got Isaiah Jupiter. Touchdown Firebirds, but hold the phone. There's a flag on the play. And we've got a little bit of fisticuffs going on. Let's wait and see what the officials, as you watch Isaiah Jupiter, shows you why he's the man and not the man sitting next to the man. So let's see what the officials are calling, as it looks like the Firebirds are coming back. They're going to say touchdown. Let's wait and see what the officials say. So it is a touchdown for your Georgia Firebirds. The new score with 2.3 seconds remaining. Georgia leads 45-24. So with Isaiah Jupiter making the reception, if I can borrow a phrase from Zach Brown in this situation, we'll give Isaiah Jupiter 2 claps and a Ric Flair. Woo! As the Firebirds are going for 2 here. Samos once again under center. He's got trips to the near side. High motion man is Bearden. Here's the snap. Simmons drops back, waits, looks, throws. Ball's going to go out of the end zone, incomplete. So with the end of the third quarter, as we're getting ready to start the fourth quarter, your new score, Georgia 45, South Carolina 24. Stay tuned as we have one more stanza, 15 minutes to go in this contest. And we're going to take a break and come right back in about 30 seconds as you're enjoying Firebirds football on Rock 103 and the Firebirds Digital Network. The Albany James H. Gray Civic Center. We've got an update for the Columbus Lions. The Lions, if I'm not mistaken, are up 86 to 14. We've got about 10:24 to go in that contest. So it looks like the Lions are going to pitch a perfect season. It doesn't look like anybody. The only two teams that might have had a chance, I thought, to knock Columbus off of their perfect season would have been the Florida Tarpons or the Georgia Firebirds, and neither one could really do against the Lions. We're getting started. You're getting ready to start the final stanza of the contest with the South Carolina Ravens. 45-24 the score. Holly set to kick this one off. Here's the kick. This one's high, end over end. It's going to be returnable. He takes it about 3 yards deep in the end zone. He's to the 5. He's to the 10. Bumps it to his own man, and he's going to be brought down at about the 15-yard line. If you watch the replay, you'll see Cohen take it. He's to about the 10-yard line, bumps it to his own man, then bumps into another man, and then it's going to be brought down at about the 15-yard line. And then we had a little fisticuffs as we saw number 42 for the Ravens, Sarah Berry, step into and just deliberately throw a block in the back right in front of our cameras. 14-16 remaining in the contest. And I hope Zach Brown is okay because I have not seen him back in this football game. We've got about 14 minutes to go. This time we're going to get a delay of game penalty unless South Carolina got a timeout. South Carolina is going to take a 5-yard delay of game penalty. It's going to bring up a 1st and 15. It's going to be 1st and 15 with 13:55 to go in the contest. Great ball game once again if you're a Firebirds fan. Young, this time the high motion man. Here's the snap. Hall is under some duress. He escapes one man, but he's got a fumble on the play. Can the Firebirds recover? And into the end zone. Touchdown Firebirds. As we watch the replay, and Hall rolls out, eludes one man, strip tackle, strip sack. And number 52 for the Firebirds, Darrell Lake, Johnny on the spot, 6 feet, 310 pounds from Fort Valley State University, rumbles into the end zone for a touchdown. So add 6 points to the score. It is now Georgia 51, South Carolina 24. And my question right now, can your Georgia Firebirds hang 70 tonight? And the director of the broadcast, Eric Tabor Jr., said, I'm setting the bar kind of high as they're going to go for 2. Simmons, and that, I stand corrected, that was Brooks in at quarterback, and the pass is complete to Isaiah Jupiter for the 2-point conversion. Your new score, 53-24. 12:23 remaining in the contest. And I tell you once again, it's a great ball game if you're a Firebirds fan. And right now the goal, and I set the bar high, I said 70, and we're about 27 points away from that. So you're looking at 4 scores. 70. We're about 17 points away. As my math is a little rusty, I did old school math. And that is doable with 12:23. As I think about the old adage from the University of Georgia, finish the drill. Holly. Here's the kick, high, end over end. This one's going to be returnable. Cohen takes it, and he's going to be brought down at around the 15, 16-yard line. And Cohen does a great job on the return. First down and 10 for the Ravens. As we've got a thank you out to all our servicemen in and around the Albany James H. Gray Civic Center. And let's see if this defense can once again get another stop, as they seem to have all the answers for the most part tonight. Looked like the Firebirds are without a guy. And the Firebirds were actually one man short on the field and still make a defensive stop for negative yards. Ball is now spotted on the 11-yard line. The Firebirds had only 7 men on the field this play, as we see Lake check out of the game. They're still a man short, and Lake checks back in. Hall once again goes under center. Here's a snap. Hall's under some duress. He escapes. One tackle, but it doesn't escape Lake. Now it's going to be third down. So with 10:34 remaining, the score is 53-24. The big question now is, can this defense dig in and get another stop? As I see big Victor Moley checking into the contest for the Georgia Firebirds, and that can only mean one thing. There's going to be a big push in the center of this defense. As we've seen Danny Bunch tonight get his first touchdown of the game of the season. We actually got a chance to also see Darrell Lake get a fumble recovery for a touchdown. Hall loads the gun. Here's the snap. Hall drops back. He's under duress. Pass is going to be complete. And he escapes a tackle and is going to be driven out of bounds at about the 22-yard line. That's going to be the 22 of South Carolina. That's going to bring up a fourth down. But he gets dangerously close to a first down. And they're about 4 yards shy of the first down, as they need to get to the 24 of the Firebirds for the first down. Hall once again loads the gun. High motion man is Cohen. Hall under some duress. Pass is going to be dropped. That pass was intended for Young. Young was trying to get upfield before he caught it, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. Your Georgia Firebirds take possession with 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. And I asked this question earlier, can your Georgia Firebirds hang 70 tonight? And we've got looks like Brooks back in at quarterback. Brooks stepped in on the two-point conversion attempt and completed the pass to Isaiah Jupiter, and he steps back in the game at quarterback. So let's see what Brooks is going to do, as Simmons might be done for the evening. Brooks talks to Bearden as he's going to be the high motion man. Double receivers far side as Brooks is there. Bearden comes into motion, stays far side. Here's the snap. Brooks under some duress. He throws it up in the air, and it's going to be caught. Great throw, great concentration, and a great catch as we watch the replay. Bearden, the high motion man, looks and he just looks like he threw it away, but right there was Johnny on the spot to make the reception. And right now, that's going to bring up a second down and about 5. Brooks once again under center. High motion man looks to be Bearden. He drops back. Pass is going to be complete to number 89, and we haven't called DeAndre Purnell's name very much tonight, but he makes the reception there, and it's going to be brought down inside the 10-yard line at about the 8. That's good enough for a first down and goal to goal for your Firebirds with 8:57 remaining in the contest. And they just made the announcement over the PA that the prices for the hot dogs are way too high, so they cut the prices in half, so they cut it. Brooks once again under center. High motion man is going to be Bearden. Bearden in there for the touchdown, Firebirds. Bearden finds the soft spot in that zone, sits down, and if this were basketball, I'd say count the basket and the foul. As you watching your screen, Bearden sits down right there in the end zone. Touchdown Firebirds, your new score, 59-24. As it looks like we're going to bring on the kicker, as Holly is going to attempt the PAT to make it 60. 8 minutes to go in the contest. Here's the snap, the place down, the kick is up. It is no good. The score remains 59-24 with 7:41 remaining in the contest. And once again, I ask the question, can your Firebirds hang 70 tonight? What you got? So here we go, 7:41 to go. We've got still plenty of time and plenty of action. And if you're a Firebird fan, I know you're enjoying this contest tonight. As we've got another promotion going on, we're going to take a quick 30-second timeout as you're enjoying Firebirds football on Rock 103 and the Firebirds Digital Network. In 4, 3, 2, welcome back to the Albany James H. Grace Civic Center as your Georgia Firebirds, if I might borrow a phrase from the WWE star The Rock, have opened up a can of something on the South Carolina Ravens. Holly set to kick this one off. Here's the run-up. And the kick, he puts his foot into this one. This one's going to be returnable. It's about 6 yards deep in the end zone. Cohen comes out. He's to the 5. He makes a move, tries to get out to the 10, and he eludes a tackle, goes down, gets back up, still on his feet somehow, and the officials have finally blown the whistle as his forward progress is stopped. He's going to be tackled by, I can't say a host of Firebirds, but how about if I say a collage of Firebirds, if I can use a new term. 7:08 remaining, and once again, I want to remind everybody to stay tuned to the Georgia Firebirds website for the latest and greatest in updates and news and reviews of your Georgia Firebirds and the situation on next week's game. I urge you once again to stay tuned. 6:50 remaining in the contest. Hall this time under center. No motion man, double receivers near side. Here's a snap. He's going to drop back over the head of the intended receiver, intended for number 4, Harris. As we watch the replay, we see Hall try to get a quick shot over. His man was there, but he saw Corey Rue coming out of the side of his vision, and he said, I don't want any parts of that. 6:08 remaining in the contest, 59-24 your score. Hall once again under center. No motion man again. Here's the snap. Hall drops back. He's under some duress. He's going for Young. Incomplete. A great bracket coverage. I've got to give that to Calvin Harris Jr., who drew the responsibility of covering Young, Oliver Young. And he's done an admirable job all night. Young, about a 6'8" receiver. Your prototypical NFL receiver, has played with the Carolina Panthers. So let's see now what this defense can dial up and do. Here's a snap. Hall under some duress. He's hit, and the ball is up in the air, and it's going to go incomplete. And we're going to give the hurry as Young is slow to get up as we watch the replay. And Young under some heavy duress. His arm was hit as he hit the ball, and it sailed on him. Incomplete. That's going to bring up a 4th down. 4. The South Carolina Ravens. This time Young loads the gun. Here's a snap. Young under some duress. He decides to tuck it and run. He has nowhere to go. He escapes. How did he get out of that? Change his name from Hall, and I think we should change his name to Houdini. As somehow he escapes multiple tackles. And they're going to stop the clock with 4:03 remaining, and that looks like it was good enough for a South Carolina 1st down. As we see the training staff coming out, it looks like they're going to attend to number 90. I take that back. It's going to be Hall, as Hall made a kind of a Barry Sanders-esque run as he seemed to elude tacklers, and I do not know how he escaped out of the pocket on that play. But he escaped, picks up the 1st down. And right now, with him down on the ground, I think he is their offense. And going to be coming out at quarterback. I think it's going to be, looks like it's going to be number 15. And that's going to be, dare I say it? Hi, James Brown. And Harris, who has had a whale of a ball game, is going to check out. He's made moves with his arm and with his leg. And I think they're going to, Young is going to be the quarterback now. Oliver Young, I said it before, he's done it all. He's lined up his receiver. He's done the kicking duties, and now he's at quarterback. Cohen, the high motion man. Young drops back. He's under some duress. He tries to escape, but he doesn't get very far. That was number 25, Ralph Scott, the 6'1", 230-pound lineman, defensive end with the sack. And that's going to bring up a second down and about 14 for the Ravens. Oliver Young, South Carolina State product, played for the Carolina Panthers. And I know Eric Tabor Jr. would be interested to meet him because he actually had a chance to play with Cam Newton. Young once again loads the gun. Cohen, the high motion man, ball's on the ground, but Young was able to recover. He's under some duress. He throws it out and almost intercepted. That pass by Young went a little errant as he was under some heavy pressure as the ball kind of short hopped on the snap. 2:45 remaining in the contest, 59-24 your score. The only thing that remains right now is, can your Georgia Firebirds score 70 tonight? Cohen is going to be the high motion man. Young takes the snap. He's under the gun. He's under some duress. He's trying to escape somebody, and that pass is going to go incomplete, as it was intended for number 94. There will be no intentional grounding, as Marcus Perai was the tight end, declared tight end, and he was in the vicinity. So now we see Victor Moley checking in the game at nose tackle. That's going to bring up a 4th down and 14. And seeing Victor Moley in there means one thing on that line. They want to get some push up the middle. Looks like the Firebirds are short one guy. They're going to say intentional grounding, as I thought that number 94 was the declared tight end and he was in the vicinity. But a fortunate break for your Firebirds, and it's going to be 4th down, because on an intentional grounding it's going to be a loss of down anyway. They're going to spot the ball all the way back to the 2-yard line. And that's going to be, they're going to have to go roughly about 38 yards for a first down. They're going to have to drive to almost downtown Atlanta for a first down. And they're going to hang it up there. It's just like a long punt. It's going to go incomplete. Turnover on downs, and your Firebirds will take possession with 1:50 remaining in the contest. So right now, it's kind of academic, as it looks like your Georgia Firebirds will pick up the W, but will they be able to score 70 points for the first time in the history of this franchise? This is a night of firsts, as this is the first time that this franchise has scored 59 points in a contest. The defense has done an admirable job tonight. So right now, let's see what Marcus Brooks can do as he is in at quarterback. And we're going to take dibs and see if they give it to the fullback. They're going to toss it out to Isaiah Jupiter. Jupiter, I say he's in. What did the officials say? They're going to say he's short. I don't know. I thought he was in, because the ball just has to break the plane, not the player. Interesting call by the officiating crew. So it's going to be 2nd down and goal. Spot the ball on the 1-yard line. We're down to 1 minute to go in the contest. High motion man looks to be Isaiah Jupiter, and we've got a flag. They're going to say false start against the Firebirds. They're going to say false start on Darrell Lake, 6 feet, 310-pounder from Fort Valley. And when you got all that beef, it's like a train. It's once you get moving, it's hard to stop. And sometimes it's good to get a little bit of distance away from the goal line as the ball is now spotted on the 6. Under center, Brooks. He's going to take the snap, throws it in the end zone, and that's going to be a catch and a touchdown for the Firebirds. Antonio Bearden, once again, Mr. Johnny on the spot, extends your Firebirds lead, 65-24, the new score. And right now, Marcus Brooks is asking that the officials spot the ball on the college hash at the 2. So they're going for 2. They're trying to make it 67-24 with 56.1 seconds to go. Brooks once again under center. High motion man's going to be Isaiah Jupiter. They're going to fake the toss and throw it back over to big Danny Bunch. Bunch is having the game of his career as Bunch is all excited. Last week, for the first time I have ever seen him, and I've watched this young man play football since his high school days at Doherty High. And Bunch has caught fire right now as it is now 67-24. Your Firebirds, once again, a season high and an organizational high, 67 points in this contest. And even Jackson Riley is getting into the Ric Flair thing. Back deep. The Ravens did not have a return guy back deep. The Ravens take a timeout as they only had 6 guys on the field. And there was no choice in the matter. They had to take a timeout. 52.7 seconds to go in the contest. And Frankie the Firebird is enjoying the game as he is shaking his tail feather. And there's a song I hadn't heard in a long time. The 69 Boys and Tootsie Roll. And it looks like most of the Civic Center is enjoying this contest tonight. And we're set now to start this contest again the right way. Holly's going to kick this one deep. It's going to be taken by Cohen back 6 yards deep. He's to the 10. He's going to be brought down at the 15. And we've got a player who flew in at the last second, and he's up and about. And that was Ralph Scott. And let's just hope that young man is okay. As I see Derek Cohen is slow to get up for the Ravens, as he and Young have been pretty much the entire offense, as Brandon Hall, the quarterback, has checked out of the football game. And Victor Moley is going to check back in as nose tackle. And he seems to be the only offensive lineman right now that does not have a score tonight. Young loads the gun. There's no motion man, double receivers near side. Here's the snap. Young under some duress, and Moley couldn't quite get him, and he's going to throw it away, incomplete. As Victor Moley gets back there but did not quite have the foot speed to get the sack. As your Georgia Firebirds lead 67-24, 39.7 seconds left in the contest. Perry declares as the tight end. Young this time under center. Calling out the signals. I think he's just going to give it to the fullback and they're going to call it a day. Now Young drops back. He's under duress and he's going to be brought down. We're going to give the sack to Victor Moley. And Young is slow to get up as Moley does the swim move over the center. And for those of you who are football aficionado, I recommend you watch that as Victor Moley used the classic swim technique to make the play. 35.1 seconds to go, 67-24 the score. This has been a fantastic ball game if you're a Firebirds fan. So, like I said, it's pretty much academic now. The question is, can your Georgia Firebirds wrap this one up? We're 3 points away from the 70. And I'd love to say I called it, and let's wait and see. Young once again loads the gun. Cohen's the high motion man. Here's the snap. Moley comes out, almost gets there. He's going to throw it deep, and that pass is going to be intercepted. He could go. And that pass is going to be intercepted. Number 9, Calvin Harris Jr. intercepts it with 22 seconds to go. And remember the rules in arena football. They state that you must have positive yards or the clock stops. So the Firebirds have to attempt to try to score. And Calvin Harris Jr. makes the interception as he has had the ball game of his career. And now the big question is, can your Georgia Firebirds tack one more touchdown on the scoreboard? 22.2 seconds remaining. Big Danny Bunch declares as the tight end. Brooks under center. High motion man is DeAndre Purnell. Brooks drops back, throws. DeAndre Purnell makes the reception. Touchdown, Firebirds. Don't I get a football for making the call? Your new score, Georgia 73, South Carolina 24. And I said the Firebirds needed 70 tonight to redeem themselves, and guess what they've done? This is an organizational best 73 points in a contest. 19.1 seconds to go. The Firebirds have scored by land, by air, and if there was water on the field, you'd say they scored by sea. The pass up, and it's incomplete. Intended for Beard and just a little bit too tall. 15.9 seconds remaining, and I think I see that big girl from Decatur walking in the building. For those young folks who are tuning into the broadcast, want to know what I'm talking about. There used to be a saying, the game's not over till the fat lady sings. So I think I just saw the big lady from Decatur walk in the building. 15.9 seconds to go. And I'd like to start thanking some people who are major contributors. I'd like to thank the McDonald's Albany Co-op out of Albany, Moultrie, and Tifton for being a proud sponsor of the Georgia Firebirds. I'd also like to thank Pops detailing shop.
Don't forget, we're going to Moe's for Mother's Day.
Also, I'd like to thank the Cumulus radio stations from Nash 102 to Rock 103. I'd also like to thank Good Life Vapor. Another big contributor to your Firebirds is Moe's. Holly kicks this one deep. This one's he's going to take 8 yards deep. He's out past the goal line. He's to the 5, to the 10. He's to the 15. It's going to be brought down at about the 17 to the 18-yard line. 6.9 seconds remaining. And I think I do spy the big girl over in section 121. And believe it or not, I think she is from Decatur, Georgia. And no, it's not Jill Scott. And want to remind everybody that after this great contest, that some of the official after parties around town are going to really flare up. As we've thanked some of our sponsors, and a big shout out to Dustin at Rock 103, as we still a big question mark as to the game next week. Stay tuned to WALB and Fox, as well as the Albany Herald, for updates on that. And we'll also have updates on the Georgia Firebirds website. Big Danny Lake comes across, and we're going to have a whistle and a stoppage in play, as this is going to wrap it up. And that's the end of the contest. Your final score, the Georgia Firebirds 53, the South Carolina Ravens 24. Thanks for tuning in to the broadcast. We're going to throw it back to Rock 103. It's been a pleasure working with you. In case we do not come back next week, we'll see you guys in the playoffs. Eric Tabor saying good night, and again, a special thanks to the Knighton family for assisting with the cameras. Good night and so long from the Albany James H. Gray Civic Center. Your final score, the Georgia Firebirds 73, the South Carolina Ravens 24. Back to radio control. Good night, everybody.